could tell me what DC stands for? District of Columbia. So our country is ruled by the District of Columbia. Well, who's Columbia? So start asking the questions, right? Well, we walk over there to the Capitol building, and there's Columbia perched on top. And if you notice, she's standing on like a globe, and it says E pluribus unum right there. Who can tell me what E pluribus unum means? Anybody remember from school? Yes, out of many one. What were you taught in school that means? E pluribus unum, out of many one. What were you taught in school? What did they tell you that means? Yeah, many states, one nation, a lot of ethnicities, we're all a melting pot, one nation. That's what we're taught. The problem I have with that is that symbols, whenever you look at a symbol, the iconography contained within a symbol has to harmonize with itself. Okay? So now we have a pagan goddess on the top of our Capitol building and a pluribus unum at her feet. What's going on there? Well, we walked into the Capitol building, and there's the original sculpture that the one on the roof was made from, right there. And we go into, this is in the visitor center, we go into the movie theater place there when they give you a little movie on the history of the making of the Capitol building, the building of the Capitol building. And it starts off by calling it the Temple of Liberty. And I turned to my wife and said, temple? Temples are for gods. Right? What God? Well, we just passed her in the hallway. Who is she? Who is Columbia? She is known as the Queen of Heaven. All throughout the scriptures, all throughout ancient history, throughout many cultures, she has many names. Semiramis being one of them. Ishtar, from which we get Easter. Isis, Columbia, Liberty, Diana, Venus. These are just a few of her names. Just like Nimrod, she's the wife of Nimrod, Semiramis. She's an interesting character, by the way. My research has shown me that Cush had a daughter named Semiramis, whom he later married, his own daughter, and produced Nimrod. Okay, so that means that Semiramis is Nimrod's half-sister and mother. And then Nimrod turns around and marries Semiramis. So now his wife is also his half-sister and mother. Gives birth to Horus, who in our Bible is Tammuz, who later marries Semiramis. So our country, the District of Columbia, clearly worships her in the Temple of Liberty. When you're standing in the rotunda and you look up, the top part there is called the Frieze of American History. And it starts with Columbus and goes all the way around to the Wright brothers' first flight. And it depicts various scenes of our country's history. But you don't get much past Columbus when you see this. Montezuma and Cortez and the Aztec calendar stone that everybody's talking about, December 21st, 2012, it's all based on the Mayan calendar. There it is. What does this have to do with American history? Now, if you want to talk Americas and North, Central America, and South America, okay. The problem is the rest of that painting is all about the United States of America. So why is this depicted there? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but let's keep looking up. The further up you look, the more occult it gets. You see 72 pentagrams there. Pentagrams in the occult are known as binding utilities. So there's 72. 72 is a high occult number. 13 is, 33 is, 72 is. There's a lot of numbers that the occult loves, 72 being one of them. So you got 72 pentagrams right here surrounding a painting called The Apotheosis of George Washington. Apotheosis means ascending into godhood, turning a man into a god. So there's George Washington in heaven depicted as a god in our Capitol building, right? What's the commandment say? Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Well, okay, if this is supposedly a Judeo-Christian founded country, and this is supposedly a scene in heaven, well, you might think you'd see something, like maybe Abraham, Moses, Jesus maybe, Gabriel, Michael, somebody? No, that's not who you see there. You see Neptune there. You see Ceres there. You see Vulcan there. You see Minerva counseling our founding fathers. You see Columbia/Freedom. And this is the best one. Mercury, the messenger of the gods, and our founding fathers at his feet taking notes. In our Christian founded country. Wow. I asked the tour guide, I said, when was this painting done? And she said it was finished in 1865. I thought, well, that date sounds familiar. I said, isn't that the year that Abraham Lincoln died? And she said, yeah, as a matter of fact, he was the first president to undergo the lying in state ceremony that every other president who has ever died in our country has since gone through. Well, what is that? Well, they bring their casket in under the womb of Isis in the apotheosis of George Washington, and they leave it there for a little while. That's nothing more than an Egyptian mystery school practice of ascending into apotheosis. And shortly after that, pictures and paintings and sculptures of Abraham Lincoln, similar to George Washington, was depicted, the apotheosis of Abraham Lincoln in our Christian-founded country. So